What's up guys, this is going to be a quick video about the new GH5s rumors that have kind of surfaced ever since Casey Neistat posted a picture on Instagram where his GH5 looked a little bit different, and it's hard to tell whether or not it's modded, but it looks to be like a different model of the GH5. From what I can see so far, the GH5s is going to be very similar build-wise to the GH5, just with maybe a bigger recording button to kind of emphasize the fact that it's focused towards video production instead of kind of a do-everything camera. According to EOSHD.com, they think it's going to shoot 4K at 120 FPS. It's getting a Sony sensor that has less megapixels, and where that is worse in photos, it's better in video because less pixels means that the pixels are larger and that they perform better in the dark. This is like the A7S in that the A7R is a 42 megapixel camera and the A7S is the same size sensor but only 15 megapixels. So the pixels are that much bigger, allowing for that much better performance in low light, which is a definite plus for Micro Four Thirds shooters. With less megapixels, that means the resolution of the sensor is actually less. The GH5 currently has like a 6K resolution image from the sensor, and that's what allows you to do the anamorphic 6K shots. So apparently that's going to be no more on the GH5s, and it's going to focus more on the higher frame rate and the better low light performance, not so much the high resolution, which is okay with me because I don't own any anamorphic lenses or adapters to begin with. Along with the better sensor for video stuff, there's rumors that it's going to shoot RAW at least at 2K resolution, which is kind of a cool thing. I don't necessarily like shooting in RAW. I have a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema, and on that thing I usually shoot ProRes, so I'm not a huge RAW shooter, but that's kind of a cool option if you want it. Along with the new sensor technology, it's apparently going to have high dynamic range built into the sensor. Check out this EOS HD article for more, I'll link it down below, but it gets really into how they record HDR to the sensor, and so that allows for 15 plus stops of dynamic range, which is kind of crazy coming from the GH5 and the GH4 getting somewhere around 11 to 12. This really puts it, above like an Ursa or a cinema camera. I think that's pretty awesome to have out of a GH5 body, and it's just that much more like, as soon as I start thinking that the GH5 is a perfect camera, they come out with the S and newer models that just blow it away. From what I can tell from this article, Panasonic is having an event on December 15th. I'm not quite sure if that's true, but we can look forward to seeing this be announced at least at this event. I'm not sure how much specs are going to be announced, but I'm super pumped. I'm curious to know what you think. If you own a GH5 or GH4, is this worth the upgrade to you? Is the frame rate that important? Or do you like having a camera that's more well-rounded and takes better stills? Because the GH5 is a 20 megapixel image shooter, and this new GH5s is going to be not an image shooter in the least bit. For me, I don't think it's enough to upgrade. I just got the Sony for some of the other stuff I like to do in the dark, and if I'm on a Ronin and I need quick autofocus, it makes sense to me, and it's not enough for me to buy a whole nother camera right now, and I think it's even going to be more expensive. I think it's priced at like somewhere around $2,500 body only. For me, it's not really worth the upgrade. Anyways guys, let me know what you think down below. I really like what they're doing because if they make a lineup kind of like Sony where they have a photography camera, the G9, then they have the GH5 as the all-purpose camera, and then the GH5s, or whatever they're going to call it, as the video camera, it really sets a lineup that's kind of similar to the Sony lineup, and I think that if anything, it's just going to push Sony to make better cameras and push Panasonic to make even better cameras, and it just means that we're going to have better cameras and that our lenses that we spend thousands of dollars on are going to go that much further for us. So I'm pumped for this announcement and this leak. Thank you, Casey, for leaking that. Check Google or whatever you can on December 15th because something might happen. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.